Hello, magnificent humans. We are starting a new unit on financial literacy, which I gotta say, I think is the most applicable to life. However, maybe not right now when you're in 7th grade. But it is good to understand the words and the vocabulary so that way when you do talk about these things later on and with your parents and older siblings and friends, you'll know what they're saying and maybe even learn from it. So let's just get into it. We are starting off with income tax, and what is that? I will say you've kind of already done this before when it comes to sales tax in regards to how you actually solve it. The essential question you should be able to answer by the end is how would you explain to your parents how to calculate income tax for earned wages? And I gotta say, you probably will impress them if you do talk to them about this. I feel like it would be impressive. Income tax is a percentage that is subtracted from the income that you earn. It is taken, that is a typo. There are actually several typos on here. My bad, sorry guys. It is taken out of your paycheck by your employer. So some steps. So these are our steps. We are gonna set up a proportion, cross, multiply, divide. And then, depending on what the question is asking for, we will either add it or subtract it. Yeah. Well, I guess we wouldn't really add, right? We would just subtract. Anyway, let's just get into it so we can put this into practice. All right. So gross income minus income tax equals our net income. So gross is all money, all of it. Your net is without taxes, meaning it's actually what you get on your paycheck is not what you earn. Okay. And actually here's our from income, because they can give you, we will add it to the net income to find the gross, or we will subtract it from gross to get the net. It depends on what the question is asking for. Okay. Examples. Dr. Rodriguez earns an annual salary of $204,000. If Social Security taxes are 6% of the gross income, which is that $204,000, how much will Dr. Rodriguez pay each year on tax alone? So I'm just finding the tax. That's what the question's asking me to find. So I don't need to add or subtract when I'm done. I am just setting up a proportion, cross multiplying, dividing, finding the amount of taxes that are being taken out. So we are doing part over whole because it is a percent. So part over whole 100, right? I have the 6%, that I know, 6 out of 100 equals what out of 204,000? Well, I know, and guys, you can't always do this, so okay, let's just cross multiply and divide so you guys can see it. I was going to show you a trick, but frankly, I don't want to. Y'all get really confused when it comes to zeros, and I don't really understand it. So let's just cross multiply and divide so we can practice that. 0 times 6 is 0. 4 times 6 is 24. 0 times 6 is 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 times 6 is 12. I don't have to move any decimals because I don't have any decimals. And now I'm taking that number and dividing it by 100. So I like to put it as a fraction just so I can see my zeros that cancel out. And it looks like they are taking out $12,240 in taxes. That's it. So I guess the hardest part might be setting up the proportion. Love that for you. That makes it easy. Let's look at another example so we can put this into practice even more. Mr. Adamak earns a gross salary of $72,425. He pays 8% in income taxes. How much money did Mr. Adamak pay in income tax and net income? So I need to find the tax and then subtract to find the net, right? Because gross minus income tax equals my net income. So let's set up a proportion. We're doing part over whole, so percent out of 100, right? So I know the 8 out of 100 equals what out of 72,425. So I am going to cross multiply and divide. I know, therefore you guys should know, that when we divide by 100, we're just moving the decimal to the left 2 times. Okay, 5 times 8 is 40, 2 times 8 is 16, plus 4 is 20, 4 times 8 is 32, plus 2 is 34. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 3 is 19. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 1 is 57, not 8. That was wrong. 56 plus 1 is 57. Okay. Now I'm taking the 579,400, dividing it by 100. So I can see that my zeros cross out. So this equals 5,794 in taxes. But to find his net income, I will then take his gross and subtract the amount of taxes. Okay, I like to do all my borrowing from the beginning. I just feel like it helps. I don't need to borrow with the 5, but I do need to borrow with the 2. So 5 minus 4 is 1, 12 minus 9 is 3, 13 minus 7 is 6, 11 minus 5 is 6, and 6 minus nothing is 6. So it looks like his tax was 5,794. Therefore, every year he gets to take home $66,631. So these are his taxes, and this is his net income. Cool. That's it. Again, the hardest part is setting up the proportion and then just making sure you're answering the question directly as to what it is asking. Is it asking for just the tax? Is it asking for the net? And then you might even get a gross income. They'll give you the net. You'll have to find how much the taxes were after they give you the percentage. And then you'll have to find the gross.